LHS Live, every Wednesday morning from 9:30 a.m. to 10 a.m. Where you'll hear from new guests every week on relevant topics. Community-based, student-driven. And now, your host, Joe Roberts. Welcome to LHS Live, every Wednesday morning from 9:30 a.m. to 10 a.m.
Are we LHS living right now?
Looks like it.
You know, it's so good that we had to hear it twice.
All right, Oscar Cicada, junior producer, are we live? Are we good? All right, awesome. We are live. All right, Panther Nation, welcome to LHS Live. It wouldn't be a live show without some sort of hiccup. I'm generally the one that causes those. I'm Joe Roberts, and every Wednesday we're here with new and interesting guests, except for today. We just have some interesting guests. You're not new at all.
He's new. I'm interesting.
Okay, there we go.
Very good.
He's not even new. Liberty ISD Education Foundation board members, Mr. Ross Norwood and Mr. Bruce Wright. Pleased to have you guys. You guys are a LHS Live and other production sponsor for us. Actually, one of our first big sponsors. So thank you so much for that and all the great work that you guys do. We are here today to talk about some upcoming events for the Education Foundation. And again, the foundation does so much for not only the students and teachers, but for the community at large through the work that you guys do. All right, Bruce, take it away.
We're blessed to be here, man. I mean, it's right in the middle of the Olympics, and we got our own Olympic sport coming up. Our event this weekend is the Liberty Freedom Ride.
Yes.
So break out your bicycles. Brought a prop here just to make sure everybody knows what we're here for. So anyway.
Yeah, I love the bike on there.
There you go.
You would think that the bike would be as easy as riding a bike to get back on there. That's the phrase, right? The first time I got on a bike after not having been on a bike for a number of years, it was less easy than I remembered.
The seats are a little bit smaller.
Yeah, I was a little bit wider. The seats were a little bit smaller, and thank goodness for talcum powder.
Man, we had some great news this morning. I was on the phone with the Space City weather guys, and we're going to have a cold front on Saturday, but it's going to be dry. So if you can get to Moss Hill and Rye, the north wind will blow you back to Liberty. How about that?
The important thing for me is if I can manage to stay in my bed, then I don't have to worry about anything like that.
There you go.
But that is good news.
Yeah.
Some good friends of mine are avid cyclists, and they're always doing these 100 and 200 mile trips. They're like, oh, it's just a morning,
That's
just
right.
whatever.
It's just a regular old day.
And I mean, that's a year for me.
Yeah, last year we had weather issues, with that big freeze, and literally we were in between two freezes, and it didn't get over about 37 last year.
I think it was 37 was as high as it got, and that was for about 10 minutes.
Yeah. So it was rough. So this year they're going to be happy because it's going to be almost 60.
Well, what's great, even at almost 60, when you're going as fast as you can get on some of those cycles, with that wind chill is going to be 40s, 30s maybe?
Probably, yeah. But it's a good day to be on a bike, though.
Yeah, okay. Well, it's supposed to be sunny, as far as I know, and these last couple of days have been just pretty magical outside.
Yeah, this is really good. And, it's really, to have the event, you need that a couple of days in advance so everybody will go, oh, yeah, it's going to be good. We'll sign up. And because I think last time, people got so scared of the weather forecast that a lot of them didn't show up, even if they could have. So
what's crazy is on Monday, I woke up and had to scrape ice off of my truck windows. And then when I left in the afternoon, I turned the air conditioner on.
Exactly.
It was ridiculous.
Welcome to Texas.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got the Freedom Ride. And Ross, you're going to talk about that for a minute or two?
It's our 7th annual Freedom Ride, and it's always a good time. I'm not one that has cycled in this sense. As a matter of fact, you talked about being the first time you did it. And I did it downtown. And that is always a fun thing because, you don't only have to dodge cars, you have to dodge pedestrians.
Well, that just makes it really funny. But that game that was it Sega or a Nintendo with Paperboy game? You remember that game?
Oh yeah. Well, so one of the things that I noticed made me notice is a lot of the pedestrians that are out down there walking aren't paying attention. They just start crossing the street because they're sending text messages, and it's really annoying because you're sitting there, you're either cycling or even driving, and I have to stop and yell at them because I see them at the last second. And my phone goes right out of my hand, and I lose my spot where I was responding on an email.
Exactly.
Any law enforcement agencies that are watching this,
That's
please
right.
disregard that. He does not
This
drive
is all made up.
unsafely.
Yeah.
So, Freedom Ride, the 7th annual, is that what you said?
It is the 7th annual.
Okay.
Coming up on Saturday, we have 75 miles for the guys that are and girls that are really pushing it, and that goes up to Rye, and then you come back down, and you'll finish.
Man, that is a haul going up there.
Yeah, it is, and it's a really scenic haul too.
It's so pretty.
Couple of places where you just go, wow, we're 45 minutes from downtown Houston, but it's really neat. A lot of the riders go, wow, that's really neat.
Well, see, there's a couple of places there where I know I look like I'm in peak physical athletic condition right now. I
me
get
too.
That.
Me too.
That. But there's a couple of spots on 146 going up there where, no, I'm just going to go ahead and get off the bike, and I'm going to walk it up the hill, and then we're just going to live our life how we live our life.
It's not really that bad. But, yeah, the 7th time, we've really kind of ironed all the kinks out, and riders really love to come because, I'm a cyclist myself, and so I kind of know what you want to have as far as food and beverages and places to go, and also just great support. We got the sheriff's department and the PD and local doctors and folks who are on our staff just in case we have an issue, and we've had some issues in the past, but nothing really big. So
now I feel like 1 year, and you'll know this obviously because you've been doing this, or maybe you still do it. Do they use Governor's Road? Is that part of the
we used
route?
to, yeah.
Okay.
Right now, because of all those big dump truck aggregate trucks that are bringing all the stuff out of the sand pits, we try not to go down there because there's not really a lot of space on the side. So we try to use 146 and places that have a shoulder. So
because I know 1 year I was volunteering and I was driving kind of a trail vehicle or something, and so the ride was going on, but it's not like local traffic was shut down. There were still people driving.
Yeah, this is an open course, so traffic is still there, and you have to pay attention to stop signs and all those kind of things. So yeah.
So probably for me, I'd probably benefit from being in the middle of the pack. If something's gonna happen, let it happen up front.
Exactly. You go first. No, you go first.
I can't see in that water. You jump in and tell me what's there. Yeah. Okay, so what are you guys anticipating numbers wise?
Well, Bruce, I'll let you, since you've been handling the registration.
This morning we were up to 120. Wow. We did right at 300 last year, but because of the weather, a lot of them couldn't get down here and get back. But we're up to 120. We wish we had way more than that, but we're still probably dealing with last year's, people were scared and didn't want to do it and whatever. So,
I think last year, Bruce, we had actual riders. We had 300 plus registrations, but actual riders because of the weather was somewhere in the 70s.
Yeah, 75 or so. Yeah, that's about right.
So are you getting just random people? Are you getting cycling clubs? What kind of folk are showing up for this?
Yeah, mostly cycling groups around the state. And you would think, okay, well, it's going to be Southeast Texas. But we have a lot of guys from way off that come for this ride. They love it, too. We've got some guys from Wichita Falls and Dallas and Louisiana and other places, and love coming here because they know that particularly signage is really good, and we take care of their needs. And that's when they want to come. They don't want to come to a place that, like, some group just puts on a bike ride and they're not cyclists themselves, you can run
right.
into a lot of
Right.
issues that way. So
Right.
yeah.
All right, it's 9:45. We're about halfway through this thing. LHS Live. I'm Joe Roberts, and I'm here with the Liberty ISD Education Foundation, some board members, Mr. Ross Norwood, Mr. Bruce Wright. Mr. Wright. I love saying that.
Captain.
Captain. Okay, Captain Wright. All right, there we go. Where's she?
That's a different show. No.
Is it too late to register?
No. Today is actually the last registration day, and then we have on-site registration Saturday from 6:30 to 8 right before the ride. So we can take care of most folks. And it doesn't take long to register. Active.com is where we have our registration stuff. If you need to go there, libertyeducationfoundation.net, hit the drop down and you're in.
So this isn't a situation where we're getting up at 4 in the morning and getting going before the light is on.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah, you guys will be there.
Yeah, and that was one of the reasons that we started 8 o'clock is, a lot of our riders come from Beaumont or Houston, gives them an hour to get here. So, that's not too early to be up.
No, that's not bad. I'd probably need an hour or two to just to stretch and be ready to ride my mile before I came up with some excuse to, oh, man, I was
pull up lame.
Jackrabbit jumped out in front of me. I'm out of this thing. No, I know this isn't the most important thing, but again, based on what you're seeing right here, this is the most important question. When we're done, are you feeding me? Is that
Absolutely.
what's happening?
Yeah, we're having gumbo, and 101st Brewery is going to be there to do some samples for their stuff, and so yeah, you're going to be taken care of. There's a lady in town that makes cookies for the riders. I don't know. So yeah,
can you show up and just pay to eat with folks?
Oh,
you can. Yeah, we just do like a regular registration and say, hey, if you want to donate $40, which is our registration, or you can come and just go and pay for the food itself. I think it's $10.
So you don't
donation.
have to actually ride to come and help support the Education Foundation on Saturday.
And there's lots of different ways to do the foundation. This is just one of the events that we put on. It's a feed event. The other one that we're getting ready for is the Still Dancing with Miss Rip, and that's going to be April the 23rd. And that's going to be a really cool event. A lot of old Prancer folks are going to show back up and really do some things with a great band. Royal Duke's band is the one that's coming.
It's like a big band.
It's
sort
a
of
huge
feel,
band.
or
it's going to be dance oriented. Okay, so and it's horn section and
that's what I meant by
stuff.
Big band, like Glenn Miller style.
Yeah, no. This is like Motown.
Oh, okay.
Type band.
Okay,
full blown. I think there are 11 members in the band, and we've previewed them before. They're really good.
Oh, that sounds,
really good.
That sounds awesome. And where is this event going to take place?
It's going to be at the Liberty Center, same place where we are Saturday. So
awesome.
And it's going to be $75 a ticket, and get dinner and entertainment along with soft drinks and other.
Oh, that's a still $75. And one of the things that I know from, we're always having a fundraise at the school and stuff, and people are always, their response is, man, why do I got to pay $20 for this thing that I can go down to Walmart and get for $5? And my response is always, you're not buying this thing. You're helping us out, and because you help us out, we're going to give you a gift. The thanks for playing. Help us out with $75 donation, and then we're going to give you some entertainment, some food, fellowship, and all that business.
Right.
If you think about it, and you're going to go $75 for dinner and entertainment and drinks and a good time, that's actually a pretty good deal.
Absolutely.
Because you're going to have a hard time going somewhere. Spending the money on gas if you have to go out of town.
And we're bringing them here, so you don't have to go anywhere.
No,
right
just
here.
down the street, right on the square in Liberty.
Yeah.
And a great time. And it'll be good to see everybody get together for Miss Rip, who has been such a huge part of Liberty ISD, and it'll allow us to raise some money. And the money that we raise goes directly back into the classroom. It doesn't go for anything.
It goes to fund Joe Rob's grants.
Oh,
absolutely. Or our producer.
And help do this right here.
Yeah, there you go.
Absolutely.
Richard Ewing. And
There you go.
And it's just what we try to do, and you know this because you're a past grant recipient, and Richard, our producer, knows this because he is too, is, there's a certain budget y'all have, and there's projects that you wanted to do to enrich the education experience for the students, and we try to kind of provide that funding for that. And there's a lot of cool programs that we've been able to do over the years, and it's a love for education is what all of our directors and Bruce, who my former government teacher.
You don't
Former.
you dare say
Old.
that. You're trying to make this guy seem like he's ancient or something.
He is ancient.
No. I think he was like 21 when he taught me government or something.
Yeah,
Oh,
that
see,
was
now,
it.
now he's coming back. He was 15 or so. He's just
Crawfish.
really, really smart.
Yeah, I mean, he was advanced for his age. So
Well, the cool thing about whether or not we're doing the gala for Miss Rip or we're doing the Freedom Ride, everything that the foundation does, we try to do it, the very best that we can. We get the best entertainment. We do it. We try to think of everything that could go wrong and fix all those things before people show up. So people know whether it's Asleep at the Wheel or the Beatles group or, Royal Dukes Band,
And
or
those
we're
were
doing a Freedom.
amazing. Yeah.
It's going to be top-notch entertainment. So we're really proud of what we do. And our directors, they work really hard to, tell their friends and get people to sign up and show up. And so it really is good. So,
Bruce, when I was a kid, one of my favorite things to do, and this was back before they had just so many different television stations. I think we got 2 stations. ABC was generally the one that we got the most. My brother, that's right above me, and we would take the hide-a-bed that was inside of our couch, and like on Labor Day, Jerry Lewis had his telethon, and we'd pull that hide-a-bed out, and that was the only time of the year that my mom and dad would let us stay up all night long, was to watch the Jerry Lewis telethon.
absolutely.
And as we've been talking here, I feel like, oh man, just this gift of $75. I feel like we're about to do a cutaway with our junior producer should be throwing a telephone number.
That's
Go ahead
right.
and call right now.
9 no. Yeah,
And then
exactly.
We'll find some of that dramatic music, and if you don't donate right now, Mr. Wright may have some difficulties getting home.
Well,
I don't know.
our foundation is all about LISD. That's all we do, and we just do classroom grants. And who doesn't love the kids of Liberty, and who doesn't love our schools and our structure here? So that's really, we don't really have to sell much at all. We just say, hey, we're doing stuff. Would y'all like to help? And people donate. They show up. They do whatever they can to help us. So.
and every little bit helps. It doesn't matter if it's $5, $2, $2 million. We're still, hoping for
$2
that
million
one.
helps a little bit
but-
more than.
Yeah, we're waiting
2,
on
but
that one.
whatever.
Yeah, we're waiting on that one. I hear it's in the mail, but it just allows us to provide more support, and it's across the district, not just exclusive for the high school or middle school or elementary school.
Well, if you're watching right now, one thing you can help us with this weekend, even if you don't donate, is just slow down when you're driving.
Yeah.
Just look out for riders. I would be remiss if I didn't mention there was a rider who was killed in our county a couple of months ago. His name was Kent Wasepka, and they were going from San Diego to Florida, and they were happening through this area, and somebody ran over the group and injured 2 of them and killed him. And we're so sorry that happened here. But, you got to pay attention when you got riders on the road. So y'all know Saturday you're going to have people on the road, and slow down. Watch out for them. We're going to have all kinds of escorts and PD and Sheriff's Department to help provide safety, but just
And the
help
Precinct
us.
3 constable's also going to be involved in
Right.
the safety part of that.
Cool.
All right, so sorry to cut you off there, Ross Norwood, but something caught my eye that Mr. Wright is wearing and you are not, and I don't know why you're not. He's got this really cool Freedom Ride, and that's from 2017, right?
Yes, this was 2017. The ones we have this year are blue, and if you want one, if we have extras left over, you can shoot us a $10 bill and we'll send you one, or I'll bring it to you. So yeah,
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right, Mr. Norwood.
Well, I was going to say that don't be scared if you think 75 miles, I can't ride 75 miles. One thing that we do is we provide different courses. And so for kind of the experienced rider, you have the 75 mile, and then there's a 38 mile, the intermediate, and then the short course, which is the 18 mile.
Oh, my gosh.
And so there's lots of options for whatever level of rider you are. So it's not just
My
experienced
level,
riders.
I didn't hear my level option on there. The right
We'll
around
make
the
another level
courthouse
for you.
square.
Well,
the-
there's
get on the
there's-
bike, sweat a bit, make it look like you did something.
Right. Well, that's the real basic one, and it's just a matter of writing a check for $40 and
we can call it the Joe route.
The,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
Joe route. Oh.
yeah. There's
Yeah.
Bruce brought your bike. I think somebody had boosted it from your truck. You know,
That's about it. Is there an option for like a sidecar on a bike or a,
Yeah, sure.
what do you call
They
that?
have motors and
Where the,
all kinds of
no,
stuff.
The
See-
person's got the. What are those things called? You see them in Asia quite a bit, where the guy
Like a rickshaw?
Yeah, that's the thing right
Somebody
there.
hauling you
Yeah, it's
around?
The rickshaw.
No.
There we go. And I could just wave a little bit. I could throw candy.
We've had folks ride on tandem bikes before and all kinds of different things. But that would be a first. You show up with a rickshaw and we're going to put you in the front.
The Grand Marshal.
We
of
got
the
a pace
parade.
car this year. It's a 2022 what is it? Corvette, red Corvette.
Oh.
So that's going to be awesome.
No, that seems like that's my speed.
It's beautiful.
So we've got the Freedom Ride, we've got the Miss Rip event.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything else that's in the works, or have you done anything recently?
Well, the last thing that we did was during the pandemic, which was
all right.
was the Freedom Ride during the middle of the Great Freeze of
Right.
2021. So it was really rough, and luckily we have a little bit more ability to move around outside and be distance and all that. So.
No, we used to get the was it the Diamond Gala?
Right, and that's what the
So that's
gala
what
with
it's- okay.
Miss Rip is, kind of the refurbishing of
Got it.
that event.
Okay,
So sure.
perfect. All right, so you've got these couple of events. Now, we've got a couple of minutes left, Bruce. Talk about the board real quick. You guys are both on the board. Brandon Davis, who just does a wonderful job with our ISD as our legal guru, is the LISD Education Foundation president, correct?
Correct.
Who else is on the board?
Well,
and I'll give you this.
There's a list of them right here on our page, so I don't want to miss somebody. But Fallon Kay is in there, Shannon Gardner, Margaret Gardzina, and of course Cody Absher, who work with the district, are all also part of that team as well. And then Leslie Hernan, Sharon Brown, Barbie Kelly, Michael English, Rick Vinson, Ross, of course, Logan Pickett, Rhonda Smith, principal over at the middle school, Bill Buchanan, Jason Kay, Allie Smart, and Nick Dennis. And that's a
Awesome.
good group.
That's a really good group of
Nick
people.
and Allie are our two newest.
Right, and
Directors.
very diverse. But they donate all their time. They donate physically to the foundation itself. So they're kind of putting their money where their mouth is.
Right.
And so yeah, just a really good community group cross section of who we are. All of them have real deep ties to Liberty ISD, and it's just kind of an extension of their business or their community activities. So really
It's
neat.
kind of a who's who of some really special people in the area.
Absolutely.
How often do you guys meet?
We meet once a month to kind of put on what we do. And it's not always just, Freedom Ride or the gala or whatever. Many times it's, what are we doing? How can we help? Grants take up quite a bit of time in the springtime. That's coming up at the end of March. That will be the deadline for grants.
So you're getting ready to go through all that. Because that's the fun part. is when
Absolutely,
you put
yeah.
that grant together and you're hoping and praying that you get picked. Like, pick me. And,
That's right.
and again,
Exactly.
I've been
Yeah.
fortunate enough that I was selected for that, which is kind of the precursor to what we're doing right now. A lot of the cool stuff that I was able to get with that grant helped put all this together. So I always want to give a big shout out to the Education Foundation for planting the seed, as it were, for our programs right now. Last little bit before we go off, we're just about out of time. If I wanted to get involved with the Education Foundation, aside from, buying my ticket for these events, how would one do that?
Well, first thing is you can call me, 936-641-0367. Call me directly, or call any of our board of directors, and they'll walk you through, what we've been about. And also go to our website. We got a lot of good information about who we are, what we've done in the past, all the grants that we've given. Over the years, we've given over $250,000 back to the district. And really, that's what you need to know is how do I get involved with that?
Okay.
Well, and the great thing about the website is if you have misplaced your checkbook, you can donate. There's a donate button right there on the website, and you can donate there, and you don't even have to write out a check.
That is definitely a delicious bit of information, Mr. Norwood. Okay, so last thing for you, Mr. Wright. If you could leave a message of hope, inspiration, some kind of something for our viewers that are going to watch this later or they're watching right now, what would that be?
Well, it's we're so fortunate to be who we are and in the place that we are to help the students of Liberty ISD. And y'all, you know how difficult the pandemic has been on public education. We can do our part. We can't do what classroom teachers do, but we can do our part to help. And that's who we are. So
awesome. Thank you for that.
You bet.
LHS Live, I'm Joe Roberts. A couple of announcements before I jump off here. Tonight at War Memorial Stadium, Panther Soccer going to be doing a replay. We dropped a match on Friday because of the cold weather and all that business. So we're going to be playing tonight at 5 and 7. And then next Monday, Ross Norwood and I are going to be debuting our Panther Sports Network softball season. The Lady Panthers are at home. And, we'll have junior producer Oscar Cicada out there with us amongst the many great and awesome students that we have working on these programs. And, again, that's a function of the grant that we received from the Education Foundation.
And if you guys hadn't heard these guys do softball, it's pretty amazing. I mean, I was impressed.
Well, like you said, I'm the beauty, he's the brains, and neither one of us are either of those things. So it is what it is. We'll have all kinds of goodies for you to be watching, and we strive to add something new every single time we do this program. We're super excited about that. So again, you're watching LHS Live every Wednesday from 9:30 to 10, and 9:30-ish to 10. We always have interesting guests and interesting topics. Next week we're going to have our I think we're going to be meeting with the Chamber of Commerce chair, and then the week after that we have Miss Emily Cook. So she's the chairwoman of the Republican Party. Is that what you said to me, Mr. Ewing? Oh, and she's going to be talking about our 28 Dresses project. So we've got a lot of cool guests coming up over the course of the next couple of weeks. All right, gang, we will see you next Wednesday. Don't forget to tune in on Monday, Panther Sports Network. I'm Joe Roberts. You've been watching LHS Live. See you next time.
Thanks for watching every Wednesday morning from 9:30 a.m. to 10 a.m. New guests every week on relevant topics. Community-based. Student-driven. Don't forget to tune in next week for LHS Live.